Hello and welcome to Austin Anderson's Sports Talk. Let's start in college basketball, where the Final Four is now set. First is Michigan against Syracuse. In the second, more dramatic, more headline-filled game, the Wichita State Shockers shocked Ohio State in the Elite Eight. Bet you never heard that one before. And we'll take on Louisville. Now I know you all have heard by now, but Kevin Ware's dramatic and traumatic leg injury, where his leg basically snapped in half, it was by far the most gruesome thing I have ever seen in my life. My thoughts and prayers go out to Kevin Ware and his family, and I hope he can play basketball again. Clearly, he's a brave young man, deflecting the attention away from him and his injury towards his teammates and trying to get that win against Duke, which they did. After that injury, they just frankly ran away with it. Now that you know the Final Four teams, let's get our picks from my guys in the studio, which once again is just me. In the first game, we have Michigan taking down the 2-3 zone of Jim Boeheim and Syracuse. And in the second game, wow, I just don't think Louisville can be stopped, especially by a number 9 Cinderella team, no less, in Wichita State. They had a good run with Carl Hall, but with Gordy Dang, Shane Bohannon, Russ Smith, Peyton Siva, not to mention this emotional story of Kevin Ware. Honestly, I don't think they'll be beat by the Shockers, and they won't be beat by Michigan either in the final. Louisville will be your 2013 NCAA men's basketball champions. Let's move to the NBA, where the Miami Heat were upset by the Chicago Bulls without Joakim Noah, without Rip Hamilton, without Marco Bellinelli, and of course without Derrick Rose. So, how could they lose? Is this fatigue? I mean, you've got to point to yes, but all the other teams, I mean, they've had the same amount of games. With this game, I say the Bulls, they might have won the game, and this is their championship for this year. But the Miami Heat will win their championship in June. Even after the streak has ended, they went out, beat the Hornets, and then with LeBron James, the MVP, Dwayne Wade, also known as Wow, and Mario Chalmers out versus Spurs, they still won. They leaned on Chris Bosh with the game-winning 3. If they got by Chicago, almost everybody said they would lose to San Antonio. And to do it without your 2 best players, not to mention your starting point guard, I don't think anybody will ever be able to stop this team. In Major League Baseball, 2 huge contracts are handed out. One to the all-world pitcher, Justin Verlander, signed a 7-year, $180 million deal, which could get bumped up to 8 years and $202 million. And Buster Posey signed a 9-year, $167 million deal, which a lot of people are questioning because he is a catcher, and why would you give a catcher that much money? But I'm sure he will get moved out in 4 to 5 years to be playing first base, which will be problematic considering Brandon Belt's hot spring and promising future. But I don't have a problem with this deal at all. He's the face of your franchise, and he will be for the rest of his career. And another huge contract got handed out in the NFL, where Tony Romo, yeah, you heard me right, Tony Romo, got a huge payday from the Cowboys. 6 years, $108 million. For a player honestly on the decline, I mean, I guess I can see why the Cowboys did this. They don't want to invest in a new young quarterback when they're so close to the playoffs and contending, but to throw this much money at a non-elite starting quarterback in the NFL is upsetting if I'm a Cowboys fan. And lastly, we're going to talk about the NHL, where the Pittsburgh Penguins have reeled off 15 wins in a row. But I don't know if you saw the puck to the face of Sidney Crosby, but he has a broken jaw. the best player on that Penguins team in possibly the NHL, will be out indefinitely, which obviously is not great news for the Pittsburgh Penguins. For my 2013 NHL champions, so Sydney, get back here real quick, will you? Thanks. That's all for this week's show, folks. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to enjoy yourselves out there.